Either. Yeah, you guys are both perfect in your own ways.
And so you gotta love this answer. Woman's asked, which physique do you prefer? She says either. You're both perfect in your own ways. You look great. He also looks great. Coach Greg, and in today's video, what body type do women prefer on Omegle? And I'm sure you can guess it. You know what they prefer. They're gonna prefer the abs and the muscles, but is it worth it? Well, Dylan McKnight set his sights on achieving the dream physique. He was a skinny kid, said, I went from nothing to something. He was always something, but didn't feel that way. And so he began to train in the gym, put on a ton of muscle, and guess what? He's one of the lucky ones. He did, in fact, achieve the dream physique. He entered the competition, got first place. He looks so good that almost everyone thinks he's not natural. He claims to be natural. I do believe he's natural. I did a natty or not saying the guy's natural. And so he looks so good that people think he can't be natural. But does he himself feel this way? Does he feel attractive? Does he feel he looks good on the inside and out? And so what he did was he pushed his physique to the limit, to the breaking point, and he broke down mentally. Physically, amazing. He won the competition, but was it worth it?
All right, so this week in preparation for the natural bodybuilding show that I'm competing in, I have to get as humanly good looking as possible, which could be problematic because I'm not inherently an extremely attractive person. I'm not going to be too harsh on myself. Be reasonable. I'll say I'm like a 7-8 on the East Coast. Let's see.
And so imagine this guy's about to compete in a physique competition. He rates himself as a 7, maybe, or an 8. So a little bit above average. Does this look a little bit above average? Do average looking people win competitions? He literally has a better physique, looks better than almost everyone, but considers himself a 7 or an 8.
I think your face is like a 6, but your body bumps it up to like 7, 8.
And so his friend, yeah, your face about a 6, body a 7 or an 8. He literally is winning a competition. Without question, he's close to a 10. Anyone who's winning physique competitions, their body's close to a 10. Just stepping on the stage and looking like you belong already, you're probably a 9. Think of it. And so look at the size of the arms in this guy. And I do think that because his arms are so out of proportion massive that people are probably thinking he's not natural. And so when you're entering a physique competition, they're judging everything. You have to have the perfect hair, the perfect skin makeup, the tan. You have to diet down to extremely unhealthy body fat levels. And so you're being judged on your appearance. So anyone who gets involved in bodybuilding, bikini competitions, physique, and so on, you are being judged on how you look on the exterior. What they're judging you is based on what you see on the outside with irregards to your insides. And so it's very easy for you to become overly critical on how you look and to think that that's what is important. And so really, there's nothing wrong with chasing the aesthetics, but at what cost? If you start losing your cool, punching holes in the wall, being hangry all the time, miserable, is that worth it? And so look at his physique. Is this not the dream physique, what most people are trying to achieve? Leaner than most Gymshark models, wins physique competitions, and so that's what you're trying to look like. And Omega, oh yeah, we like the arms, we like the biceps, it's great. But at what cost? And so they hop on Omegle shirtless, trying to ask people, who has the better physique? Which one would you prefer to look like? A guy on the left dieted for months at his leanest all-time ever, at his peak physique. Guy on the right, just a normal guy, perhaps 20% body fat, joined the gym, works out, is healthy. And which body do they prefer and or why?
Who do you like better? Who do you want to look like?
Doucette.
None of the above.
So even when you look this amazing, people are still going to say, oh, there's someone else that's better. So you're comparing yourself to the best in the world and thinking, I don't measure up. You keep dieting, suffering, struggling to get as lean as humanly possible, but for what point? What's the purpose? You're never going to be truly happy with yourself, no matter how you look on the outside. What matters really is, are you happy and healthy on the inside?
Both me?
Yep. Got a six.
What's that?
He got a 6-pack.
But really, think of it. How often are you going to be shirtless? How often when you meet somebody on the street, at a bar, at a party, in public, at the gas station, heaven forbid, how often are you going to be shirtless? For the most part, you're probably going to be wearing pants and a t-shirt. And so do you really think it matters that you have single-digit body fat to pick up someone of the opposite sex? If both of these guys both had their shirts on, I'm sure the answers would be different. They'd say, oh, he's taller. Oh, we like his necklace. Oh, he has a better smile, better personality. He was laughing more. He's funnier, easier to talk to. And so there's a lot more to looking and being attractive than having a deeply defined six-pack.
Either. Yeah, you guys are both perfect in your own ways.
And so you gotta love this answer. Woman's asked, which physique do you prefer? She says either. You're both perfect in your own ways. You look great, he also looks great. And so you don't need to strive to have deeply defined six-pack to be attractive. Guy on the right looks just as good as you. He's perfect in a different way. Yeah, you have more abs, but he has more something else. You don't need to be perfect, and there is no perfect. Look the way you want to look and realize if you're suffering mentally at the expense of looking a certain way physically, is it really worth it?
You both have like super different bodies, but they're both like perfect. Like,
But my like abs are
You're
better
weird.
and stuff.
Oh my!
And listen to him, but my abs aren't better and stuff. He's trying to argue. She says they're both equal, but my abs are better. And so he's been brainwashed going through social media, YouTube, competing and so on, that you have to look a certain way to have the better body. Just because you have a six-pack doesn't mean you look better than someone else who doesn't. And so although this was an experiment and it's just for fun, a lot of people were in fact picking the taller guy, even though he's not as lean as the guy with the six-pack. And Dylan, he does seem to be a little bit upset. But remember, he's been dieting for so long. His testosterone levels have plummeted. He doesn't feel good mentally. He's not in a good space. And so he's very irritable, hangry. And trust me, I have been there before, dieting to 5% body fat, feeling miserable, starving, hungry, having no energy, getting angry easily. You have to constantly tell yourself to be nice, to not get angry or upset. It's because of the diet that you're on, that these diets, feelings, emotions, that they will soon go away when you can once again eat normally. But Dylan, this is the first time he's ever dieted to this extent. And unless you've dieted to this level of conditioning, stage lean, you don't know what I'm talking about. You might have dieted and lost 20 pounds. You've dieted to 10% body fat and said, yeah, it was hard. I was really hungry. I want to eat burgers and I couldn't. I'm talking about stage lean bodybuilding. When you get stage shredded, you will feel like garbage.
He's got all like fat like covering it, huh?
Yeah.
And really, his friend doesn't. His friend isn't fat. Friend looks great. He has a 2-pack, 4-pack. He has some abs. He's not shredded, but he looks amazing. And so because Dylan's been constantly struggling to get as lean as humanly possible, he's going to have a warped perception of what lean actually looks like or what a good physique can look like. And it's easy to get like this. If every day you scroll through Instagram and you're bombarded with images of amazing physiques, one after the other, you're soon going to think, my physique doesn't measure up.
I think this is the first time one of my videos has just absolutely fallen apart in the process.
And so Dylan then sits down a week later after he's been able to cool down, get his mental health back together, and he says, I have to come clean. This is the first video I've ever done where I had a meltdown, where nothing went according to plan and I just couldn't do it properly.
He just punched in walls, punched the desk, and split his knuckle open.
And so they were getting frustrated. The camera wasn't working properly. It was taking longer than expected. You know, normal problems that you go through in this world. But because Dylan was so shredded, dieting to that extent, he lost his cool, was punching walls, couldn't handle it, had a mental breakdown. But had he not been dieting to this extent, had normal testosterone levels, perhaps been at 15% body fat, you know, healthy, he wouldn't have had this meltdown. It comes from an overly restrictive diet and trying to be too lean. If you feel like this, you've been dieting to this extent, trying to get that dream physique, stop. It's not worth it if it's affecting your mental health.
And I don't know, that was crazy. Yeah, he was just on a rampage. It was the first time I've ever seen him so angry that there was no control.
No control, the most angry he's ever been in his life. He describes it well. He just couldn't take it anymore, and that comes from the diet.
It's quite embarrassing. It is. But yeah, I snapped.
And so Dylan, you have to respect this guy being this transparent. He didn't have to share this. He's telling you, I lost my cool. I'm punching, throwing things around, splitting my knuckle open. Not good. I was over dieting. I'd gone for too long and I couldn't stand it anymore. Very happy he made this video because this is not easy to share. Being healthy, it's not just what you see on the outside, it's what's on the inside as well. The mental, physical, social, spiritual health. If you're angry all the time, you don't have energy, you can't sleep well, have a lower testosterone level, decreased sex drive, you are over dieting. You need to stop and have realistic expectations.
I won, but I lost myself a little bit there in the process. Then after that, I took another hiatus from social media specifically.
He had to rehabilitate himself, not only physically, but mentally as well. He had chemical imbalances. When you diet to this extent naturally, you're gonna have crushed testosterone levels. Or let's say he wasn't natural. I don't know, I think he's natural, maybe not. Perhaps then he was abusing PEDs, and that can also cause this. Whether you're natural or enhanced, if you over diet and take it too far, this is inevitable. You're gonna have problems. And he is in fact taking a test booster to get his test levels back up to normal. He's sponsored by Gorilla Mind Derek, more plays per dates. I'm sure you know who he is. And so I wish him all the best in his recovery. Perhaps he shouldn't compete ever again. Perhaps do what Coach Greg says. And I know some of you hate it. What is my advice? Halfway to your dream physique. Not bulking up, eating everything in sight, and not struggling to get single-digit body fat. Halfway there, something healthy, perhaps 15% body fat. And once you get to that healthy body fat percentage, you main gain. You keep that amount of body fat and slowly build muscle over time. By doing this, you can feel good, healthy, mentally, physically, all the time. You're not bulking and cutting, getting sloppy in the off season, then having to cut, bulk, back and forth, look in the mirror and saying, oh, I'm fat now, and then trying to diet. You always feel good, always look good, happy, and slowly build muscle. That is the main gaining philosophy.
Oh my gosh, I had my Joker era, is how my girlfriend described it.
And so his girlfriend calls it this Joker era where he was losing it, couldn't keep control. It's been a week, he feels so much better. You can see it. He knows it. He suffered to such an extent, and he's making this video. He wants to warn you, if you over diet, you could feel like this. And so that's why I made this video. I want to caution you not to diet to the extremes of the extremes. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting halfway there. And so I caution you, I urge you, please don't overdo it. Yes, there's nothing wrong with chasing the aesthetics, but at what cost? Please keep your mental health in check. Hope the video helped, and I'd like to remind you to become a newsletter subscriber. We have nearly 200,000 people in the newsletter list. Please click the link in the description. We give 5 free recipes, also going to be giving away free training and diet programs. Also, we have weekly giveaways. Please join the newsletter, be part of the family. Also, harder than last time supplements, including turkesterone pre-workouts. We have G-Focus, G-Test, GO2 Max coming out, all kinds of new supplements, Seco Bar, pre-workouts, so much. Click the link in the description. Also, watch one of the bloops. Please watch one. Also, subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Get my friggin' cookbooks, training books, the Circle Diet books. And until next time, I am out.